Today, we're going to be going through a few practical tips to really help you plan your week so you can make the most of the fantastic foods that are perfectly designed for your body and what you need right now. When it comes to meal prepping, here are a few tips just to help you understand a little bit about it. But before we do that, I would love to go through some of the common problems that people give when they're talking about why they don't meal prep. The first is no time, or it's too complicated, or there are too many different needs in the family. I'm not really sure where to start. And this question, do I have to cook a different meal every night? Do I need the variety? Can I have the same meal every night? Am I going to get bored by that? It really just seems like a whole lot of work. Thoughts to consider: how much time do you actually have to prep? If it's an afternoon on a Sunday, sometimes setting 3 hours aside, you can get everything done for the whole week. How many different meals do I need each week for breakfast, lunch, and dinner? How many meals do I want to prepare each week? How many am I going to be eating out? How many am I going to be ordering in? What are my other goals this week? Is food and the full gamut of meal preparation completely required this week? Or would it be better to focus on my other goals and just pick up something simple for my food this week? And what other stresses are happening right now? If there are lots of things happening in your life at the moment, sometimes jumping into a full meal prep can even add to that stress a little bit more. And designing your week so that you can be under the least amount of stress is always going to be supportive of your body being in best health. So a few things what you can do to help you understand how to use the platform for preparation. There are a 4-step process here. The first question I'd like you to write down is: how many different breakfast, lunch, or dinners do you need? This is a really important question because some people often think I need a new meal every single day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, which means a whole lot more preparation. However, some people are very happy having the same breakfast all week long, a couple of different lunches, a couple of different dinners, and that will suit them. That's only now 5 meals that you need to prepare throughout the week. Are you going to prepare them ahead of time? Are you going to bulk cook? Do you like preparing meal by meal? Do you like supplying dinner and then having lunch as leftovers? This is another really important consideration, because if you're going to do a bulk cook, then it means you can stack in a lot of your healthy foods that are going to really support your body. You can do it in one big crock pot. Or if you're going to do meal by meal, then planning your meals out so you have to do less thinking throughout the week is really handy. Or if you like doing a combination of the two, which is cooking a meal at dinner and making sure you've got enough lunch for leftovers, then this is another way of just stacking your food together so that you don't need to cook as many meals through the week. The third is using the main meal guide and food list is really, really important. And the information you want to extract from this are: what are your top meats? What are your top root vegetables and grains? And what are your top vegetables? By understanding this information, you're going to have a much better and more specific view of the food that you need to put into your shopping basket. And as you can see, the platform is very, very useful for this. Finally, have a think about: what meals do you want this week? Are you going to make up your own recipe, or are you going to make up a recipe from the platform? And the other question is: how many times would you like to have this recipe? Once you have all of this information, we can put down these numbers. I want 2 different breakfasts. I want 2 different lunches, which is going to be 2 big bulk cooked meals that I'll be able to divide up through the week and make sure I've got something different coming through each day. And I want 4 different dinners. I know that I'll be having a couple of lunches out, and I'll know that I'll be having 3 dinners out. So I only need to worry about 4 different dinners. And as far as my preparation is concerned, breakfast is going to be meal by meal. I'm going to wake up, I'm going to make that each morning because it only takes a couple of minutes, whether it be oats, whether it be a smoothie, whether it be a quick meal of eggs cooked up with some vegetables. Then when it comes to lunch, I'm going to do some bulk cooking, and dinner is going to be meal by meal. So I know I'm going to have to buy the ingredients for each of the recipes and decide on them at the start of the week. Or if I like to chance it and I like to make things up as I go, just make sure that I've got the right variety in my food coming in. So here we have the food guide, and this is where you can determine how many different types of meat you need through the week so that you can really prepare your shopping list and make sure your meal plan is as it's supposed to be. So here it says that white meat can be had about 3 times, red meat can be had about 3 times, white fish no more than 3 times, oily fish no more than 3 times. So generally we'll be looking at these frequencies when we're putting our meal plan together. We then go from the food guide, which is found in our food section under food guide, we go over to the food list. Now we know that red meat we can have 3 per week. And so if we just go and filter for meats, we'll see the first meat that pops up is beef broth or stock, then egg whites, and then the first red meat is beef. So I'm meant to be having red meat 3 times per week. This food right here is the best food for me when it comes to red meats. So I'm going to be choosing this one as frequently as possible to make sure I'm getting as many nutrients as possible when it comes to consuming red meat. However, I'm allowed to have oily fish no more than 3 times per week. As a result, trout would be my best choice here as well. So in this way, we use our food guide to tell us about the frequency and our food list to tell us about the best one that is going to be for us in each of the groups. Once you've used your food list, you'll notice that you've got 5 or 6 really great meats that are good for you, and writing them down and putting them in the shopping list is going to be fantastic. The same with the root vegetables, same with vegetables. With these foods right here, we have the core foods of every single meal that we're going to be consuming, particularly for lunch and dinner. We're going to have a protein, we're going to be having a root vegetable or a healthy grain that's appropriate for your body as well, and pairing that together with vegetables in different ways. The lunch, for example, might be a slow cook with carrot, fennel, leek, tomato, some garlic, some artichokes, and we might throw some fresh greens in there at the end. However, it might also be a steamed vegetable mix with that group of vegetables as well, along with some grilled chicken that you've done a meal by meal at night. Some examples might be a beef casserole, and you might make 3 meals worth of this beef casserole. You might do a chicken stew and do 3 meals worth of this chicken stew. Then the meal by meals, you know that you've got some steak, some salmon, some chicken, and some lamb. You know, you've got the vegetables to complement that as well. So you've got everything ready for the 4 meals at dinner time. So right now we're going to go through how you can actually find a recipe that's appropriate for you within the platform itself. We go to our food and then our recipes. And in case we're trying to find a beef dish, we can just type in beef here, and it'll be bringing up all the excellent beef recipes that are really fantastic for us. From this, we might be able to say, well, this will create 3 meals for the week. This will be my option for one of my lunch options. Then we can cook more of this. We can spread out over the week. It becomes very easy. So it really takes the thinking of how to create recipes. However, if you would like to use your own recipe, you are more than welcome to do this too. This is just a very useful tool to take it to the next level with your meal planning. The most important thing is to be realistic with change. So a question to ask yourself is, by the end of the week, how many meals do I want to have changed? What's the minimum number I'd be happy with? And right now it might be you just want to change 1 meal. It might be that you want to change 3 breakfasts, 3 lunches, 3 dinners. You might want to change the whole lot and change all 21 main meals. What are the meals I want to make those changes to? Well, it may be that you want to change just the main meals. If you can have snacks, you might want to start with the snacks because they're nice and easy. What are the easiest changes that I can make? So these questions really help your brain say, what are my priorities this week? What are the things that I really want to do? Because when you start asking these questions, the idea of breaking this meal plan down into a step-by-step becomes a whole lot easier. And second, when you go out, what changes can you make? So when you're out for dinner, you might say, this first night, I'm going to have something really healthy. The second night, I'm actually going to enjoy it whatever I like. The third night, I'm going to make sure it's a healthy choice again so that I'm on track with my goals. You might also say, you know what, all 3 nights, I'm just going to relax. I'm not going to worry at all. And you're going to set that intention before you do it. Regardless of what you decide, please set an intention. The most important thing you say to yourself is, I'm going to make a healthy choice tonight, or I'm not going to worry. And in this way, your brain can relax and enjoy the meal. Make sure that your goals are realistic. Make sure that even if you don't succeed in your goals the first time, you know that you can improve on them the second time. And any increase in quality food is an improvement as well. Hopefully this resource gives you plenty of advice, and you can watch it again to help you understand how you can put those meal plans together in a really successful way for you.